I'm blowing this money, you see me, I'm working. You niggas is bluffing, I be out here stunting. Your bitch know she fucking, I keep it real simple. Hundreds on hundreds on hundreds. You niggas keep talking, I'm keeping it coming. You see,
all happened. And LaRusso committed the foul, his third. As we look at Barnett, it's 66-51 after a minute and a half of the third quarter. Barnett with his 15th.
Rebound is taken by Russell of New York. A fast break of the next. Russell across the midcourt line, top of the key. Cross court right up from 20. He jumps. Yes!
His fourth of the evening. Diblish's shot is rebounded by Bradley, who gives to Barnett.
Trying to help out on Sam Jones, and they would always get an open man. Havlicek or Siegfried.
All right, well, I think it's been said many times that the key to Celtic success, has been the...
By Reed is blocked by Alcindor. Barnett has it. He gets away from Oscar and hits one. New York hitting outside.
Points. Shot by Barnett.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is Ariel and welcome to Go School Retro NBA Episode 5. Here I will be discussing NBA legend, New York great, Dick Barnett. If you guys don't know, Dick Barnett was a big piece in the NBA. Everybody knows him because he had this unusual shot where he would like kick back his legs and run it back and do it. This had like the quick release, and then he would trash talk his opponents and he would say, "Fall back, baby, you too late," which I thought was a funny catchphrase of his. You know, he was an amazing basketball player, man. Let's start off where his career started, which was in Indiana, in a small town. It was Theodore Roosevelt High School, where he dominated and played phenomenally. He was the school's leading scorer, all-time leading scorer. His number was retired, and it's up in the rafters in Indiana, and he was actually enshrined into Indiana Basketball Hall of Fame. So this guy that has so many accolades, he took them to 2 state titles where he lost to a very big name, Big O, Oscar Robertson. And, you know, that's not something, a feat where he should put his head down because the Big O is another legend. He had to go toe-to-toe, but that was a war in itself. And, you know, he was just overall a phenomenal basketball player from high school all the way up to the end of his career. And that small school that he went to, Theodore Roosevelt, if you guys don't know, this was back in the time where it was a segregated area. And it was an area where where blacks and whites went to schools in different schools because, you know, obviously it was segregated and a lot of things were going on and a lot of police brutality, you know, all that stuff that went on down, especially in the South and the Midwest. So, you know, he went to a segregated school and he put his name out there. And let me tell you something, that guy had probably one of the quickest, unusual releases. But let me tell you something, man, when he shot that jump shot, it was wet. It was this bottom of the net. Guy contributed to winning in so many ways. He went to Tennessee AI, which was a small school, and he was collegiately. He took them to three state titles. He was enshrined in the Hall of Fame for them as well, for small colleges, and in Tennessee, he was just a baller, man. This guy put up 23 points a game, school's all-time points leader. And he did so many things on and off the court, man. He wasn't great academically, but he ended up persevering through it. And I'll get to that towards the end of his career. A lot of accolades that he accomplished because he struggled in school a lot with his grades. But I think with the proper mentoring and everything, he ended up, you know, turning the page on that. And another thing I wanted to get into, after his career was over in college, when he did 4 seasons, he was drafted round 1, number 4. And let me tell you something, man. When this guy came into the league, he was a maestro, man. I mean, this guy was he was a bucket, man. Played that 6-man role very well. Like, he was like the first original 6-man before 6-man became a title in the NBA. And, you know, he was selected by the Syracuse Nationals, formerly of the ABA, which was owned by New York Yankees great legend George Steinbrenner. And his rights were sold to the Philadelphia 76ers. Well, they became the Philadelphia 76ers, actually. And, you know, he played the 6-man role behind Hal Greer and Larry Costello, 2 former great NBA legends. And they both were phenomenal. That team was very good. They didn't really accomplish much, but he made a name for himself in there, and he was actually traded to the Cleveland Vipers, where he would basically not be able to play because due to some contractual reasons, and he was actually sold. His contract was sold to the Los Angeles Lakers, and that's where he really made his name for himself. His rookie season, he averaged 16 points per game on 2.3 assists and 2.8 rebounds. With the Lakers, when he transitioned to the Lakers, that's when he made his pivot, where he was playing behind Jerry West and Elgin Baylor, that former Lakers team that was also great. And with the Lakers, he knew his role, knew his position, and he did it well. And he did a lot of trash talking, which I loved about him, man. And he had this funny, unusual game to him, but it's what made Mr. Dick Barnett very unique, man. And a lot of people don't really talk about him because he played key roles in those Lakers and those Knicks teams. And that Laker team, he was just a six man. Get him in there, he was instant offense, man. He was lighting dudes up, and he averaged 16.3 points per game for the Lakers. And until Jerry West, they went on a very good run, but until Jerry West went down, and he ended up filling in for him, they didn't really get that far. He was eventually traded to the New York Knicks for Bob Boozer, and his leap by leap, year by year, whatever teams that he played for, he just transitioned and got better and better. He went to the Knicks and instantly averaged 23 points a game in his first season. Made his first NBA All-Star appearance, his solely All-Star appearance with the Knicks. And that man was something special with New York, man. I mean, he came onto a team that was already loaded with Willis Reed, Jerry Lucas, Phil Jackson, Eddie Mast, Luther Rackley. Who else we had? Dick Barnett. What's the other guy? Bill Bradley. And so many other greats, Dave DeBusschere. I mean, the list goes on with phenomenal players that he ended up playing with. And Jerry Lucas took him under his wing. And him and Willis Reed had this camaraderie with them, where, you know, they're good friends on and off the court. They're just, you know, you could tell that team was just, if you see the foot, like, you know, they say like how pictures are worth 1,000 words. That's what you could say about those Knicks teams, those specifically those two 1970 and 1973 championships that they both won when Dick Barnett was a part of, because Dick Barnett played again that six-man role, and he was instant microwave offense off the bench, man. He was like a modern day version of Lou Williams. I mean, it's crazy because like he would take the ball, right, and he would cock it back and he would kick his legs underneath him, and he would release it like this, something like this. He had this quick trigger release, but it was so money. Like, it was cash, like bottom of the net. Like, this dude, I watched film of him, and it was so phenomenal to watch the way that unusual style, but it worked for him, and it made him actually who he was. He was unique in his own way, and if you guys know me, I'm for people like being different and being unique and not being like everybody else. And he was one of those guys that set himself apart, man. He set himself with the way he shot, his play style. He had his little funny, like, trash talk thing to him, where he would like say, you know, fall back, baby, you too late. It was a little catchphrase of him. Actually, Chet Hearn, Chet Hearn was an announcer for the Lakers, and he gave him that nickname, fall back, baby, just based on that quick release jump shot where he kicked his legs up underneath him and shot it real quick, and then that's how he got the nickname, fall back, baby, and you too late, and then he would storm off. that was Dick Barnett's thing, man, and you know, he was just a phenomenal player, man. A part of those teams. He just did what he had to do. He got in there, gave him instant offense. Till the end of his career. I mean, after they won that championship, he was released. And a lot of things he did off the court, like he has a lot of his post career. He does fundraisers. He has a Dick Barnett Foundation, which he still carries into the Knicks now. And he actually went on getting his degree at renowned Fordham University, where he ended up taking up sports management and taught at St. John's University. So I thought that was pretty cool, man. Like, he transitioned. He wasn't a guy that wasn't academically sound, but he made something of himself, like in sports world and you know, academically. And for a young man to persevere like that, especially in a time where, you know, it was like a very segregated world at that moment, and still a lot of things that still go on till today. And he persevered through a lot, but it shows you the endurance. It shows you the character that he has, And still to this day, he's always at Knick games. And, one day, hopefully, I'll have the pleasure of meeting him. And, he was a wonderful player. I just really enjoyed his game. I wish I was born to see it. Like I talk about all these legends. But unfortunately, thank God for platforms and media. You have film and YouTube and things that you can watch and make your own analyzations of him. And he was a wonderful player. So I just have to tip my hat to him. And he gave us those 2 championships. And the Knicks actually ended up retiring his number 12 jersey, which I see all the time. The next time I come to the Garden, I'm going to take a picture of that. He's one of the guys that's actually retired up there in the rafters at the Madison Square Garden with many other legends. Shout out to Mr. Dick Barnett, man. You had a wonderful career. You're still doing a lot of humanitarian things off the court, even to this day. And there's a movie that I want to watch called Dream Whisperers. He actually came out with a film in 2022. I advise everybody that's a basketball connoisseur like myself, check it out. It's called Dream Whisperers. It was released in 2022. I'm going to see it myself, and I'm going to do a video on it and my review of it in a future episode for Mr. Dick Barnett. It was basically, it's a show, it's the documentary, because it's a story talked about his Tennessee IA days and how he took them to the titles and that those teams that he was renowned on. So it's gonna be an interesting documentary. I advise you guys to check it out. So that's gonna wrap it up for Dick Barnett, Mr. Fallback baby. So I'm just gonna leave it with this, man. I tip my hat to you because I never witnessed a championship in my life, and seeing you guys celebrate and watching Dick Barnett and the camaraderie and photos and videos that you guys had in the locker room, you could tell like basketball is a team sport, and you could tell when all guys are bought in, especially like when Dick Barnett was bought in with those 2 titles, that they all loved each other. You could tell that they played off each other, they trusted each other. You could tell that they had this camaraderie, like they were like friends on the court and off the court, and they genuinely enjoyed each other's company, man. And that's a beautiful thing to see in any aspect of life and sports as well. So I appreciate Dick Barnett for, I'm putting you on the light for that, because a lot of people don't talk about you guys, and I'm going to keep all you guys' names alive. So stay tuned for my next episode, and thank you for tuning in to episode 5. If you guys don't follow me already, I'm Ariel on Twitter. And you can follow me on there. I got all my YouTubes with my VSN brothers. I'm part of VSN Network. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and show all of us some love, man. A lot of great content creators on there, as one myself. And, we're doing big things. A lot of surprises coming soon, so stay tuned.